Happy Hump Day, guys. Welcome to the morning sprint. I am Daphne Gray, and if you're looking at me right now, you notice that I'm in a different location of our studio, and there's a particular reason why. It's because my girl is here with me today. Check it out. How you doing, Rebecca?
I'm good. I'm back.
How you doing, girl? You've been busy. You've been
Yes.
really busy. Like, if you
Yes.
could explain to people, like, why you haven't been with me this entire time so far.
Yeah, so things are, moving and changing here at WSLS. We are always, welcoming people into the newsroom, and we are also sending people back out. Wishing them well on their next adventures. So I am taking more of a focus on training and helping those new into the newsroom get adjusted and kind of learn our flow here in the mornings. And so that's I've been having to come in a little bit earlier, which means I've had to leave a little bit earlier. So unfortunately, I've had to dip out before the sprint actually starts for the last few weeks. But every once and then, I get a day where I get to spend it with you and with Daphne. And yes, it's lovely.
Yeah, we enjoy that. So, yeah, we're going to enjoy this while we have it. Obviously, she's been busy. It's going to be busy for a little while, but eventually we're going to get back to our normal routine where you'll see both of us having a good time on the sprint. You already know right here on the sprint, we cover a lot of different stories, whether it's feel-good stories, stories that'll make you smile, stories that'll make you scratch your head, and stories like this one, okay? So we've all done it. You sneezed while you drove. And it's kind of terrifying because you're just like, oh my God, my eyes are closed. I can't open them. I can't control the situation. Well, get this. What if your sneeze ended up totaling several vehicles? That's what happened to one woman in San Antonio. We talk about that and we go to the comment section on how some of you are coming to her defense. Some people are also kind of giving her some flack. If you guys are seeing the story, I want to know what you have to think, though. If you could comment live, Jazzy Jazz will get to it later in the show. But again,
poor baby.
Is sneezing and driving and causing a wreck possible? What do you say? Okay, so moving on to our first story. We got to get to this. It's been a lot of drama, and I'm pretty sure you guys are probably tired of hearing about this if you didn't go to the Blue Ridge Rock Fest. But if you did, you are excited about this being put on the forefront at all times. We all know that the drama went down on social media with the Blue Ridge Rock Fest about fans waiting for refunds. As Abby Coleman, she's been working on the story and trying to get in touch with a lot of the organizers. But again, they left a post saying that the cancellation was a, quote, collective decision. They say it was made by the event's emergency management team, which includes state and county officials, representatives from the venue. And they say that they're working with their ticketing company and partners to provide refunds. They also said a post that says that there is an overabundance of misinformation circulating that we are fully addressing in due time. When we see you, we are working as quickly as possible on our end to take care of you. Now, this comes as Tent News has repeatedly reached out to the festival promoter, Jonathan Sly, for comment regarding what many festival goers tell us was a nightmare of a weekend. Been working for you, trying to get in contact with the organizers, but so far calls have gone unanswered. Many attendees have reached out calling the festival a scam. One festival goer says that she is out nearly $3,000 and never got to see the artist that she was promised.
We are all left heartbroken and out of our money and out of our time, and you should truly be ashamed of what you've done to people this weekend.
Now, we did reach out to eTix, the ticket sales website, to see if they will be helping in the refunding process, but have yet to hear back. I was having a conversation with our awesome director, Steven. He is a musician himself, and he loves these kind of festivals as well when it's done correctly. But we were just talking about how stressful it is as an organizer. Again, you're literally going off of the weather. You know, the weather is a big factor, but the fact of the matter that people are saying that they didn't believe the weather was a factor into this. There was several other issues that they were dealing with. Super stressful situation, right, Rebecca?
Yeah, and I mean, I think this is a very unfortunate for everyone. And obviously things happened that, probably shouldn't have happened or probably should have been planned out a little bit. But I don't think this is what anyone wanted this weekend to turn into.
Right.
I think that this is just a lot of unfortunate things happening back to back to back to back.
Yeah, so we just wish them the best. We wish everybody who is involved in some form or fashion, I hope that you guys are made whole. And if they do this again, like I said, we were talking about how, like, it's going to be difficult coming back after having such a weekend that was so awful. But if they do this again, we just pray that they're more prepared and have things in order to where they're not going to have a repeat over and over and over again about how, you know, things were just not that fun. We did hear that the first day, whenever the weather wasn't a factor, we did hear that there was a perfect day essentially, but
Yeah, right.
it started going downhill with the weather and other factors. So yeah, we're going to be following this story and obviously waiting to hear more. Hopefully get in touch with the organizer. I know, again, Abby Coleman has been working on it, but a lot of people have been putting their hands in this story. So we are working for you to bring you guys the answers. Moving over to a positive story, we got a new substance abuse treatment facility opening its doors in Carilion County. It's called the Warrior's Heart facility. Will help service members with drug and alcohol addiction, PTSD, and trauma. Originally based in Texas, Warrior's Heart has an on-site clinicians and therapists. The 60-bed facility also provides canine and equine therapy.
I've had that moment. I've had those low points in my life, and I know what it feels like to turn and not see anybody there to give you a helping hand. And so we want to be part of that solution.
You're not alone. Your mission's not over. You have purpose here on this earth, and when you're ready, we're ready to receive you and help you get through that.
The 42-day program also has art therapy, metal shop, and wood shop available for warriors as well. Always a good resource to have, especially when you're dealing with any of our veterans out there. They need us more than anything because, again, they gave that ultimate sacrifice, put their lives on the line so that we can enjoy the freedoms that we have. And the least that we can do is provide resources for them to get out of the stressful situations that they may be faced with in life. So you can see the full story of that on our website at WSLS.com. Let's get over to Virginia Tech for a second. They're doing something cool as well. Brain, heart, and cancer treatment research at Virginia Tech is expanding thanks to a landmark donation. The Red Gates Foundation has committed $50 million to the Fralin Biomedical Research Institute in Roanoke. Researchers say that it will help improve their technology. This is among the largest gifts ever made to the university, so shout out to them. Always trying to expand and always trying to keep up with technology. And that's the best thing to do, especially if you're dealing with a very severe illness later on down the line. You never know, man. The technology is more and more, as it's getting more advanced, the better off you are in the hospital room because they're going to take good care of you. So hopefully this that money is going to be put to good use and will definitely make some changes in people's lives soon. We've been talking about this Scott Booth character. A lot of people are just like, who's Scott Booth? And if you don't know him by now, we'll tell you about him. He's from Danville, but in the meantime, we got somebody else that's going to fill his position while he works his way to Roanoke. They announced October that this particular guy will replace Scott Booth in October when Booth moves to Roanoke City. Deputy Police Chief Chris Wiles, who has served in the department for the last 30 years, has been announced as a new interim police chief, and we're told the city will conduct a national search for the next police chief. They hope to have that position filled by the end of next year. And with that being said, we're giving you guys an opportunity to send your questions, and if you're interested in learning more about Scott Booth, our very own 10 News anchor Jenna Zipton will be sitting down with him this week to ask about how Danville continues its proven track record with reducing violent crime and how he plans to fix Roanoke's violent crime problems. Again, we want to hear from you guys. Go to our website, WSLS.com. Let us know what you want to hear and want her to ask, and we want to be a part of the conversation all together. So hopefully you guys will learn what you need to learn about him. He seems like a cool guy. I know a lot of people have been excited about it, especially bringing such a positive track record from there and possibly being able to add to that track record here in our city as well. Now, we get to Hawaii. The wildfires devastated a lot of things up there in Lahaina, and right now, people on a local level, Liberty University students heading there to try to help in the aftermath of last month's devastating wildfires. 10 students and 2 faculty members will leave this weekend for 1 week. University also has a donation fund that helps pay for shelter, food, and hygiene supplies for those impacted by the wildfires. The fire is now deemed the deadliest U.S. wildfire in over a century. At least 115 people were killed and hundreds more are still unaccounted for this morning. So again, it's good that we have people on a local level trying to get down there and help where they can. It's always important. And when tragedy strikes, it brings community members together. And again, hopefully, I know The Rock and Oprah are doing their donation fund, trying to give people a chance to rebuild in that area. It's just all around, all hands on deck effort to try to get these people's lives back to normal.
I know one of the things that I was doing whenever I was writing this story was sometimes we can't always fit all of the details in a 20, 30-second script. But one of the things that they said is the students are actually going to be helping people go through the rubble of their own homes.
Oh, okay.
And like search for, anything that may have survived in these fires. And that's just something that really touched my heart of like people in our area and local kids get to be able to tangibly, physically help people, not just send thoughts and prayers.
I love it. So yeah, if you guys are interested in figuring out how you can contribute even more from a local level, go to our website, WSLS.com, figure out how you can donate, figure out what you need to do, how you can send stuff. I know God's Pit Crew sending blessing buckets and stuff. Everybody's trying to help out where they can. Let's get to our local weather here, if I can speak English, y'all. It is Hump Day. Let's get to that Hump Day forecast. Hopefully we don't get as much rain as we did yesterday, but I don't know. Meteorologist Chris Michaels is here. I swear I haven't been drinking a none, y'all. I'm just slurring my words. Okay, Chris, take it away.
Hey guys, happy Hump Day to you. Your Hump Day headlines looking like this. Starting out with humidity levels dropping, especially this evening through Saturday. That's going to result in an autumn feel, especially each morning, Friday and Saturday mornings in the 40s and lower 50s. So you may actually need a light coat or a hoodie. Showers then become possible Sunday afternoon. We'll keep you updated on the weekend forecast every step of the way, and I'll see you first thing tomorrow morning on The Sprint.
All right, Chris, thank you so much. Speaking of the weather, we need to make sure that's okay for us to go out and enjoy the Sunflower Festival, guys. Okay, so get this, the Beaver Dam Farm Sunflower Festival back this year. Beautiful sunflowers, wagon rides, a farm animal petting area, so much more. Organizers say that this year they've planted over 700,000 seeds. Founder Candace Monahan says that she looks forward to seeing the amazement of people's faces. Festival is going to run through to September 17th. So if you guys want to go out there and enjoy some cool pictures that you can take, please go out there now while you can. Hopefully the weather doesn't be too nasty for you, but you'll be able to take some really nice pictures so people can see how awesome that event is. This is definitely a fall favorite, so I'm praying that they are very successful. Have you been out there yet, Rebecca?
No, I have not. Actually, sunflowers really scare me.
Yeah? Why?
I do not like all of the seeds in the center. One time I saw, I was like, how are sunflower seeds made? Like the ones you eat. And then I watched this YouTube video, and it was literally them taking apart the center of these flowers. And ever since then, it's just freaked me out to no, I can't.
No, I get it. I completely get it. So me personally speaking, I've never been surrounded by a lot of sunflowers, but the person in me that grew up in the country around fields just gets to sneezing for no reason at all because I started thinking about my allergies and the pollen and all that stuff. And speaking of sneezing, we got to get to this story real quick, guys. So this story is coming from our sister station, KSAT in San Antonio. And I was looking online and I was just like, I got to talk about it today because it's possible. It can happen to anybody. Get this, a woman driving on the North Side Street says that her sneezing caused her to drift into oncoming traffic, causing a wreck with a tow truck that totaled 4 vehicles. Crash happened just before noon on Monday. Says that the woman told San Antonio police that she was driving northbound on the street when she started to sneeze. Sneezing caused her to drift left into the southbound lanes where a tow truck carrying 2 vehicles was driving. Police said that the driver of the tow truck swerved to avoid hitting the woman's vehicle. However, they collided head on. The drivers were not injured, shockingly, but the driver of the tow truck, he had to be taken to the hospital for an unknown reason. It wasn't due to the crash hurting him or anything like that. But all the vehicles involved in this incident were totaled. So, me personally speaking, I've had a situation where I've sneezed and I'm like, it's like one of those things where you think to yourself, anything could go wrong. Thank God I'm the only one on this road that had this huge sneeze because I don't know, like I freak out when my eyes have to close. And I'm sorry, if you can sneeze with your eyes open, you're a very gifted individual. So do you think this is is this possible?
100, is it possible? 100%. Is this likely going to happen to me? 100% in my lifetime. I have a tendency though, when I feel that sneeze coming on, I slow down.
Yes.
So that way, if I do start drifting, it's at like a snail's pace.
Yeah.
So it's like I might make it like 4 inches over, but I'm still in my lane or I'm still on my side. Like I will be that grandma in the center of the road, just waiting for the sneeze to come. Like it's not even there yet, and I'm just slowing my car down.
See, for me, and I think another big fear for mine, because I've seen this come through in national headlines where a person had a wreck because of a spider. So that's my biggest fear, because I always say that if a spider comes from my wind visors or whatever that thing is, I'm telling you, 9 times out of 10, Jeff will be no more after
or
that
the
day.
snakes, the snakes that go in the.
Gosh,
no,
like stuff like
no.
that. But yeah, the question to everybody was, is this possible? And before we get to Jazzy Jazz, and hopefully some of you guys have answered that question in the comment section, we are going to get into the comment section that we've already seen. So again, some of you guys have seen this story, and some of you have like literally did not disappoint with some of the comments that you mentioned. So the first comment that's coming in from Mr. Byron, he says, "Boy, that's an expensive sneeze." Right there. Like
Right,
that's
your insurance premiums.
yeah, exactly. I mean, that when you think about it, it is terrifying. Now, the next comment comes in. This person is definitely defending the lady who said that she sneezed. She says that I don't blame her. I sneezed so bad, not as bad as her, but bad enough that a cop pulled me over because I swerved from sneezing so hard. He asked me if I had anything to drink, and I said, no. Why? You buying? He started laughing and gave her a warning.
That's
so,
funny.
I mean, hey, that lets you know that it could happen. This next comment is coming in from Adriana. She says that this could have been me today. I couldn't keep my eyes open despite all my efforts. The sneezes came out of nowhere. It's terrifying.
Ooh, I never thought about sneezes plural. Some people do like multiple sneeze. Like,
yes.
What if you have like 15 and then your eyes are closed? Like, ooh,
That's
bad.
what I think this lady who caused this crash, I think that's probably what happened, because she said a sneeze attack. So I'm assuming it was like back to back to back. So Adriana coming in with a clutch comment. Then up next, we got this guy, Manny, who's a comedian. This dude says,
Oh no.
he says, yeah, I farted and it made me hit a curb, shaking my head.
I don't even know how that's scientifically possible.
It's not. He's just being goofy. And then Eddie Garcia comes in with this meme. He says, this is kind of suspect. And he's not alone. A lot of people on the comment section was just like, I'm pretty sure she was texting or something. If you could go back to that just so people can see it. But people were saying that she was probably texting and stuff that caused this to happen. Like I said, you weren't in the car with her, so you don't know. But I understand the suspicion. And then last but not least, this is coming in from Marcus. He says, scientifically speaking, just don't sneeze and drive. Even though we can't predict when we are going to sneeze. It's just a bizarre story. And again, it caused a lot of damage. So with that, I got to bring in Jazzy Jazz. And get this, we got her beautiful face waiting for us. Jazz, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, girlie. So tell me, what did you think when you heard about this story?
Oh my gosh, that's honestly my worst fear, because I sneeze all the time when I'm driving, and I sneeze in threes. I couldn't imagine like the guilt that I would feel totaling 4 cars because I sneeze.
Exactly.
It's out of your control. It's not like she did it on purpose. So not only does she lose her car, but 4 other people could have died in those cars total too. So I would be extremely guilty.
Yeah.
And how do you explain that to somebody too?
Exactly.
Like,
Especially.
somebody asks what happened. How do you even reiterate that? Like, it's just.
My thought is that what if she was like a kid, just started driving. You go to mom, it's like, Mom, I totaled a lot of cars because I accidentally sneezed.
My dad probably cussed me out.
Yeah. So I did get some comments coming in on my professional page, and those comments says, this is coming in from, let's start with Dwayne. He says that taking your eyes off the road even for a second can lead to a crash. When you sneeze, you have no choice but to close your eyes. So this is definitely possible. So Dwayne says it's possible, and then our boy Kareem comes in with a huge fact. So he says 10 years ago, it was a statistic that drivers who sneeze cause 2,500 accidents a week. If you're driving 45 miles per hour, that's 66 feet per second, with your eyes closed and your body violently contorting in a vehicle that weighs over a ton. Multiply this by the domino effect, and a 4-car accident is very likely. So
is this guy written by an AI bot? Like, does he have a robot writing his responses for him?
This dude, I'm telling you, he always comes in with a lot of well-worded responses. So thank you so much, Kareem. Makes sense. Make you think about it. So, Jess, do we have any comments?
Yeah, we had one from Truth Over Facts. He said it must have been a cat on board the truck.
Oh my
no.
gosh. That's funny. Well, girlie, do we have anything else today?
No, that's it for today.
All right, my love. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
Have a good one. Bye. All right, guys, before we roll out, let's get to our lovely headlines for today, okay? Coming up in our later newscast, including 10 News at noon, Russian President Vladimir Putin and North Korean leaders Kim Jong-un are meeting in person this morning. The two leaders are driven together by their need for support in escalating the standoffs with the West. I think they've already met, so again, a lot of people got like trust issues with that situation. We're going to be following that. Plus, with several months still to go, the U.S. has already been hit with more than $1 billion disasters than any other year on record. Why NOAA scientists say that climate change is fueling this increase, as well as a record hot summer. And then last but not least, there are more major new developments in the manhunt for an escaped killer in Pennsylvania, who's a 34-year-old illegal, undocumented immigrant from Brazil. Police say now Danilo Cavalcante armed with a rifle that he stole from a garage where the homeowner tried to shoot him. So that's a lot of drama that is unfolding. We're going to be tracking that as well. So many different stories that we're going to be following that you guys can definitely learn more about, whether you go online at WSLS.com or on air in our later newscast. For now, we're rolling. Rebecca, you got anything else for us, girlie?
No, homie B.
All right, girl. Well, we're rolling out. Thank you guys so much for joining us on our Hump Day edition of the Morning Sprint. We'll be back here again tomorrow morning, 8 a.m., WSLS.com.